Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy back again with a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Today, we're going to go through my Supercoach team and how we did over the weekend. If you have missed my last video on Sunday, my Wild Talk video, me and my wife are back from Sydney. So I'm back in the swing of things. I know I missed out, I think, on 2 Supercoach videos, but we are back in business. You didn't really miss out on too much. Obviously, I climbed a little bit of ranks. I'm sitting in the top 10,000. At the moment, I'm 8,000. I think I jumped to like the 5,000 range last week. I had a pretty decent week. I think I got 1,300 and something, which ended up boosting me up to like top 5,000 in Supercoach. After a week with no NICHO Hynes, unfortunately, I didn't make the trade to bring him in. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I think we're all in the same, mostly in the same boat. I've seen some boys that brought him in and Captain NICHO Hynes, well fucking done, because that was just crazy and amazing. But we'll be talking about that a little bit later on in my video here. But let's go through my team and how we did over the weekend. So last week we got a score of 1,111. You know, crazy score. I thought, you know, pretty decent score for a couple players that went really sub 10, or one player that went sub 10. Obviously, Sonny Luke is my biggest one there. We may as well go through it. Like, you know, my lowest scores of the weekend, we had Sonny Luke with 9 points of a HIA. It's pretty disappointing. But, you know, it is what it is. That is what happens in footy, especially in a modern day football game. It is what it is. And I expect, you know, he's out this week with an 11-day turnaround. He'll be playing next week, and I expect him to be good, ready to go next week, even though a hard matchup. But I got him there because I believe he's good enough to build cash and he'll get more minutes and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to trade this man out. I brought him in for a reason. And that's just the way it went, you know what I mean? The other probably like big disappointment here is I captained Tommy Turbo last week and only a 58, which is not too bad. I know a lot of people are in the same boat as me, so it is what it is. I saw people captain Harry Grant too, so that was really unfortunate. Especially, I've been captaining Harry Grant for how long now? So, you know, obviously that really sucks to those sort of people. Like, I could have been in that same boat. I just thought Tommy was going to be going big in a big moment game and all that sort of stuff, but the game really didn't suit him the way the game was played. So hopefully coming in this week against the Knights, man, maybe he could be a massive captain option for me. So on to my biggest high scorers. So we had Dave Fafita with 96 points. Fucking amazing game from him. Obviously having a couple of nice try assists there. The men like to have that like right to left cutout pass, the no looker as well to Cam Pereira. Look fucking mint. Obviously no foreign, no Brimo coming up. They got a bye this week, but that does definitely hurt him. I think Foreign, from what I've last heard, is out for a couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. Brimo could be a lot longer, obviously with the hamstring injury. Looks like it's going to be higher up in his leg, so it could be really disappointing there. Eli Katoa with 96 points. Pretty great game from him, and he has been great for me all season. It's definitely the Eli Katoa we are wishing to see from the Warriors. He's gone to the Storm and has looked a hell of a lot better. I said this in my Wild Talk video before. I think people underestimate what our development is lately in that, but this is another one. This is one of those players that said the opposite of that. Like, we couldn't get the best out of Ellie, and now he's gone to the Melbourne Storm, who just make stud players. Not so much lately, but, you know, he is one that is brought into the Bellamy development and has just, yeah, reaped the rewards. He looks so good. I think his base stats are going really well at the moment too. You know, he's tackling well. He's just looking good, so it's great to have him in the team. I wish I reserved Cam Pereira and Warbrick this week, or even brought him in the team. Like, Cam Pereira getting 111 on my fucking emergencies. That sucks so much. Warbrick getting 88, but it is what it is. This is what happens. Obviously, I didn't have too much trust in those boys, but I felt like I went safer with a whole lot of other options. But Titans getting a bye, and maybe even like, I'm hearing talks and all that sort of stuff. I don't know, like with Cam Pereira, see how long he even has in that position there. He'll probably hold it down for quite a bit, I do believe anyway, but you never know, like out of nowhere, the Titans could switch him up, especially with no Kieran Foran coming up. So that side in attack is probably going to be lacking a little bit. I know Dave Fafita's on that side and all that sort of stuff, but without Kieran Foran there, I don't see him getting the same spots on the field to get really good points for someone like Cam Pereira. But I could be proven wrong, who knows. Will Warbrick's actually getting back into form here, and he's finally getting football, so maybe he's a good one to save for a little bit. These guys are going to be some couple of guys I could be looking to moving on for Hynes in the next couple of weeks, so we'll soon see how they go, and hopefully with those big price jumps, especially Cam Pereira with 111 in his rolling average, hopefully that boosts him up to a decent amount of coin. Other big games, we had Walshy with 84 points. Fucking amazing game from Walshy. Like, not amazing, obviously. He didn't have the best game, but still to get 84 points in a game that wasn't fucking stellar. He still has just that lethal, like, out of nowhere, you could just see points just go, like, you know what I mean? Like, he could really turn up and put 120 points on like Supercoach if he really wanted to. But then again, you know, you can definitely see those games that are going to come out where he's going to get a sub 20 or something like that. But I do believe that he's got points in him every week, and he's a good one just to have around. He's going to boost a whole lot of cash. Tino was 72. Really great game from Tino. Hopgood was 77, and Cleary was 77. Really good games from both those boys. Cleary is starting to click back into form here, and I do believe he'll continue to go all the way through. I think the Panthers, even though losing that game, they did look really, really nice, and they've found out that Zach Hosting seems to be the way they might be going with now. He just works a little bit harder and all that sort of stuff in attack. Luke Garner is a bit more of that strike player, I believe. Honestly, I feel like he runs like a really nice line for tries. We saw it at the Tigers and all that sort of stuff. But Hoskins, he's always there during the game. He'll never go missing, where I feel like Garner does find himself going missing so often. So that's really good for someone like Cleary, have someone on that side. When Liam Martin gets back, it's whether they go left or right with Hosking or, whether they figure that out. But Cleary 77, amazing field goal from him. Fucking awesome. It's just really good to have him in my squad. And Garrick was 71, especially in a really tough, gritty game. Really great game from Garrick, especially when I'm looking at a matchup with the Knights this week. I know the Knights have got Greg Marju on that wing. Whether or not he's gotten over his defensive lapses, we'll soon see coming up to this weekend. I thought the Knights looked really, really nice against the Raiders. They gritted out a good win there, and they've done it for the last couple of weeks. So whether they're really turning a corner and bringing that into them, against Manly, this is going to be the big test here, because Manly can put points on at home too, like Four Pines Park. They can put points on anyone. So be keen maybe to captain Garrick this week or Tommy Turbo. So see how that goes. So moving on to my trades coming into this week. So we've taken out Frankie Bele and we brought in Maxi King. So I just needed to bolster my front row spot. Obviously, you know, everyone will be talking about like, I had 400k sitting there, and everyone's going to be like, why the fuck didn't you get NICHO Hynes? This is going to be the biggest discussion over this weekend or coming up the next couple of weeks, because NICHO's off with a bye next week. So I have a game plan for it. I do think it's going to go the way I'm hoping it goes, but I'm hoping the Wars really hold up a really good contest this week. Obviously, this is me being like, I'm a Warriors fan. I want the boys to really turn up and do really, really well against the Sharks, especially at home, because fuck, man, my Supercoach team needs it this week, especially. I'm hoping NICHO doesn't go over probably 150 again, but I honestly believe that if you're going to bring him in this week and then have him sitting like 900k fucking NICHO Hynes sitting on your bench next week, it definitely could be viable. But for me, I just need to bolster up Max King, because I would be running with a front row spot of David Moale and Otika Manu up front, and that would not look great this week. I really don't know how I even got there. But Maxi King's been averaging some really decent points at the moment. He's got a low break even of 24 points or something like that. So he's going to make some sort of cash this week if he gets over that point differential, especially for 580k or whatever. Him and Tino could definitely be in my front row pairing coming up to for the rest of the season. Who knows? Otika Manu will probably go back to my bench and maybe play a reserve on him, or even just let him build cash and let's see how he goes. Whether there is a week that he maybe turns around. You never know with the Tigers at the moment. They could go get smacked by the Broncos this week and, they just blow up the whole club, or, they could go really, really good and Otika Manu go fucking amazing. So who knows? I just brought Maxi King there. I think that just bolsters up my front row spot. Now, moving on to my strategy against NICHO Hynes, because I think you guys will all be looking at this, especially I have no other trades this week. I didn't want to trade anyone else in. It was just to bolster up that spot. That was one hole I needed. I had no holes in second row or anything like that. I got Sammy Walker there in my reserve halfback spot. I believe he's going to go for a great week this week, hopefully coming back. He's definitely that really nice flamboyant attacking player that will end up getting a decent amount of points. Hopefully gets over break even and that sort of stuff, holds his cash at least. And I'll be looking at maybe moving on one of those big boys like Cam Pereira or something like that if they build cash the next coming weeks. And then move up to a Sammy Walker, because I do believe that Will Warbrick will boost up cash pretty soon. Oh, he's probably already boosted up cash or whatever. Like the 88 will be in his rolly average coming up. Cam Pereira's got 117, so that will boost in his average, I think, next week if he comes back, and see how he goes next week, especially off the bye. So the week after, I can bring in NICHO Hynes, and maybe him and Sammy Walker will be enough to bring him in. And probably put a boost on there. So the other option I could be doing is one of my second rowers. So either Teague Wilton, who I believe is probably going to be a lot better now that NICHO is going to be in. I've got a whole lot of options in that second row position to trade out to push in for a NICHO Hynes, because I believe I got a lot of that built cash and that I've done expect exactly what I wanted him to do. So it's definitely the position I'm in. Like, it sucks because like I felt like I built my team really, really nicely, expecting NICHO to probably go sub like, 100 or whatever for the next couple of weeks and then drop cash. But obviously coming in and getting 180 is just fucking like the Dragons, man. Why couldn't you just defend just a little bit better and hold me to what I was planning to do? But it is what it is. That's what happens in Supercoach. It is what it is. I do really feel like that I had the game plan around it though, where I brought in like Ruben Garrick. I brought in some guns last week or whatever that have really helped out my team. Like, didn't bring him last week, the week before, but I bolstered my team quite well. I feel like my front row spot's in a really nice position now, even though Tino started somewhat slow and then he's had some really big games and then gone back to like 70s and that, which is not too bad. Now I got Maxi King there, which is like, I think he's the third or fourth biggest average scorer in the front row position. So he should be going pretty well. It looks pretty nice. I was looking at Tavita Pengai Jr., but now hearing that his calf strains, whatever, is not really helping and he's going to be out for another couple of weeks. Maybe he's not a go this year at the moment, but I really just thought he would be a good differential play because I feel like he's got points in him. He's dropped a whole lot of weight. But after these injuries, I'm just want to see how he is after it because he may have just turned like injuries can really hold back people and really like he could put the weight back on. Like, he's not doing as much work as he needs to because he needs to rehab and all that sort of stuff. So I have to see how he goes with that one, but that is definitely the thoughts in my mind. After this trades, I think I've got 100K or 50K still left in my cap. So I got money there, not a lot of money, but I think with the boost next week or, the week after, I'll bring Nico Hynes in because I feel like I got enough cash generators there to bring into my team. I was looking at Jacko forward too, but I feel like I'm just going to give him another week. Obviously, playing the Sharks this week is a tough matchup. I think I'll bring him in another week or two. We'll have to see how he goes. So that is the thoughts going through my mind. I could be 100% wrong, but that's what it is with Supercoach. This is where I'm going with things. If it goes well, I'll look like a genius. If it goes shit, you guys can call me out in the comment section, and that's what I love about Supercoach. So again, guys, if you enjoy this sort of content, I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe down below, and tune in on Sunday. We have got a live stream, me and Hold the Ball. I should have shouted this out to start the video, but it is what it is. I'll probably do it in my next video coming up. Sunday, 5:45, Eastern, I think, what is it, Eastern Standard Time? I don't know, Queensland time. I don't know what it is in South Australia for Hold the Ball boys, but check it out. It's going to be a little bit, I think, in between a little bit of the second half of the Warriors game into the last game of the weekend, and we're going to review the Warriors and how we did in that game against the Sharkies. So hopes and praise that all our work and all our hard work to change the culture has really helped out, and really we can buy into a game against the Sharkies and it won't be another, loss with players like 11 players on the fucking field like we did last year at the Shark Park. So hopefully we have turned a corner and we can really hold the Sharkies to under 20 points at least, because that would do me favors. I love that so much. If we hold them to like 2 tries, I think my Warriors roller coaster is going to hit the peak, man. Like I'm on there. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much, guys. Peace out.